feel like the secret for a gathering is just how to just take care of people and fun. Everybody's having fun. Everybody's eating good food. We have good music. We're laughing. We're joking. We're comfortable. And I feel like those are the little small things for people to have a great event.
What's up, guys? Today's guest is the head of Pikes Peak Tricking and is the organizer behind Trick Different Gathering. Please welcome to the JAMCast, Luis Gonzales. What's up, man?
What's up, bro?
Yo, welcome to LA, Poppy. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm super happy to be here. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be a part of the JAMCast. Like, I watch it all the time, so I'm stoked to be here, bro.
Dude, I mean, this worked out flawlessly because, you know, full transparency for everyone in the tricking community. You just had a huge event, and I was sadly going to be a special guest, and unfortunately, because of schedules, things didn't work out. And I was planning on trying to interview you when I went out there. Right. But obviously, we know how things go during a gathering. There's like no time for that, so this is almost perfect.
Yeah, I'm glad that everything kind of just worked out.
Yeah,
because like none of this was planned. We weren't planning to be here, so I feel like it was just meant to be. Like,
yeah,
worked out.
I was gonna ask you, like, what are you doing down in LA? Like, you just visiting for fun, or what made you take this spontaneous trip?
You know, like we came here to Cali thanks to Pam.
Okay.
So she works at Ace.
Oh, sick.
So they flew her out to Sacramento, and she's there for like a couple weeks. And then we were like, all right, I came just to be with her and spend time with her. And then they gave her like a week off the second week.
Oh.
So we were like, you know what? We have a rental. We have a place. Let's just travel down Cali.
Nice.
And let's go to LA. I got some friends over there.
Yes, that's crazy.
And it's her first time over here. So like, it's nice showing her around and everything.
Yeah. When do you guys have to take the trip back up to NorCal? Is that before you go back to Denver? You go back up north first?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we came. It will be tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
So tomorrow we're going to leave back to Sacramento.
Okay.
And then we'll be flying back Wednesday.
Wow.
So we'll be just like back to back. That's good.
That's cool, man. And what do you see like difference-wise between states? Because that's one of my favorite questions to ask people during this current state of affairs in the world is like, how is life in LA comparative to back in Colorado? Are we like more shut down? Are we more strict on things? Like, have you seen a difference at all?
You know, Pam and I were talking about the mask.
Yeah.
It's like I have troubles with keeping my mask on the whole time.
Totally. Bro, how's it fit on that beard?
Not good, man. Yeah, so like here, they're definitely more strict with the mask.
Okay.
Because everywhere I go, they're telling me, put the mask on.
Yeah.
In Colorado, it's not really that intense like that, but that's one of the things, at least with the mask. But everything else, like, I mean, you know, the pace here in LA is very different than Colorado.
It's very different.
The cars, the trees, the air, the people.
The people, yeah.
But it's great though. It's, you know, everything has like good and bad. But I love a lot of LA. We're enjoying a lot of it. But yeah, man, it's great, bro.
It's a crazy time in the world right now. It's surreal. Like, even, you know, as we kind of talked about off camera, like I was born and raised in this city, and there's a lot of times when I drive around right now and it just doesn't feel the same. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like there's a little bit of energy that has left LA after COVID, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like, I feel like a lot of people moved out of the city, and I feel like we're functioning at like 75% of LA right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't feel like fully back yet.
Cause like everything was shut down for a while.
For over a year, bro.
Studios,
Jam just reopened a month ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I even heard that the city, like there was like usually there's pollution, right? Like
yeah.
But like a lot of the pollution kind of went away because people were kind of locked in.
Yeah, worldwide that's actually helped. Like even in China, they said the sky is way clearer just because the amount of cars that didn't drive for a couple of months at a time, you know?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Even just focusing on the good out of the bad things, you know, I really like that. We'll be talking a lot about that.
That is true, actually. Yeah, I heard there's a lot of things around the world that you normally couldn't see, like that have kind of revived themselves just from lack of tourism and lack of people just being out and stuff. So
right.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Or even last night, we were at the museum, MAC.
Yeah. Okay.
And we were like, you know, taking some pictures first time that we were there. And we were just talking about how they're just opening all that back up.
Yeah.
So it's a little different. Even though it's our first time there, the experience is different because you know, everything's opening back up again and how people are dealing with it. So it is an interesting time to be alive right now.
Yeah.
And you know, experience this for sure.
And I got to congratulate you, and it's so cool that we get to talk about it so shortly after it happened. But you basically were responsible for holding one of the first tricking gatherings post-COVID during these crazy times and stuff like that. So how was TD5? How did it go?
Thank you, man. I definitely take a lot of pride in that. Being technically the first gathering in the U.S.
After COVID
that I know of.
Yeah.
So everything went great.
Okay.
even though there was a lot of, struggles and challenges to host the event. Because last year we were going to do it. And everything was set for them. But, COVID hit, so we had to reschedule. I even tried a second one. I even tried to do the Dark Side Gathering. I was like, fuck
I know, at the end of the year.
And I was still no. I was like, God, but I'm really thankful how the gathering turned out, even though it was crazy with the schedule because you're supposed to be there. I had some friends coming. But I'm really thankful how everything worked out. It was like, I don't want to say smaller than previous years, but it was a little different though, because we didn't have Mike there, Michael Guthrie.
Yeah.
And we didn't have some of the more known guys, you could say, around the U.S. or trickers. But in Colorado, our community is so strong that we had like pretty much most of Colorado tricking community there. Okay. And our community, we have a lot of like, big heavy hitters, So overall, it was a great experience. It was really intimate. It was really emotional in the way that like you can tell how everybody like needed that social touch.
Yeah, man.
You can really see that people are like just locked up and they need somebody to like just to be around people. And I was talking to Pam about that, how, for humans, it's really healthy for us to have social interaction. And like, so if people are not having social interaction, people like end up like really sick, like mentally, physically. So for me, it was like a beautiful thing to be able to bring everybody together and experience that with them. Because I felt the energy and everybody was just so happy to be together, and it was a beautiful time. But it was definitely very different than previous gatherings. Okay. Mainly because of the whole after COVID thing.
Yeah, totally. And it's so unique what you talked about, how like human interaction is so necessary for us as individuals. And it's so crazy to me because I feel like I'm so old that I've been able to see like the waves of tricking, where like when tricking first started, it was almost like a non-communal thing. Just because of the lack of opportunities. You would like maybe see homies at like a NASCA tournament, but other than that, you were just like in the lab at your home dojo, solo. Maybe putting out videos solo on bi-length for people to check out. And then there was this next wave of generation when loop kicks kind of took over and was like, basically the gods of tricking at a certain point, and I feel like gatherings at that point became one of the things most synonymous with tricking. Absolutely. Which was like going to these worldwide events where you get to interact with other trickers around the world. And it went from this like very individual uploading videos type sport to like a communal gathering type sport. And now I feel like with COVID, we're kind of back to this like Instagram world where we can't have gatherings and it's just back to putting up clips solo again, right?
Yeah, it's like, it's wild. And you being able to see the wave and how it's changing and evolving. That's really cool. But yeah, I do agree with you. Like I love to draw. Yeah. Like since I was a kid, that's really my first passion. And I'm kind of getting back more into it for the past few years. But when you draw, you're by yourself. Yeah, right. You're not interacting with nobody. You're like in your own world, in your own head, just drawing. No socializing at all, which is really good, which is really important for everybody to have their own time alone. It's almost like meditation, Yeah. Almost like our background as martial artists, having your own, finding yourself in a way. So I feel like it's really valuable. And in tricking, I see it like that, which is you need that. But also, the social aspect of tricking, the community aspect, I feel like is so strong. I feel like that's what I stand behind. Yeah. And, I went to school for anthropology. I have a bachelor's degree in anthropology. I graduated 2011 from UCCS, the University of Colorado at Colorado Springs. And, in anthropology, they focus on 4 things. They focus on culture, language, evolution, and archaeology. Okay. So I focused on the cultural side and the linguistic side. Okay. And in a way, I feel like I use that knowledge and I apply that in tricking. What is the culture of tricking? Mm-hmm. How can I excel the culture of tricking? What do we stand for? Even when making memes or even, joking with that, for me to be able to like make some good quality memes or funny, like any comedian, there needs to be some truth behind it. Yeah, totally. If there's no truth behind it, then it's not gonna like be good. So I feel like that gave me like a little upper hand for me to be able to how to approach things, and also linguistics. Like talking about the language, like an example in tricking is just like the terminology. Yeah. It's almost like the way you say things, or even when I see the Japanese kids, they don't know English at all, but they know how to say "Let's go" one more time. Yeah. You can do it. They don't speak English, but they know those words, bro. Good call. And in a way, it's almost like it's like our tricking language. Yeah. Cultural side. So I like to stand strong behind not just the individual tricks, but the community. What are we as a whole? Yeah. And I feel like there's a lot of power behind that. So with the gathering coming together, like I really felt that, and It was great, man.
No, man. And that's the thing. And one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on here is that there are people that can affect a community in so many different ways. And there's some individuals within tricking that only affect the community by the way that they move their body. Right. And they literally don't want to have any voice in the community outside of that. And then we have individuals like yourself that literally, basically step up and take the helm of trying to help build a community within their own local, community. And, if it wasn't for people like you, we wouldn't have these gatherings popping up and stuff like that. And I feel it's just as crucial to have individuals like yourself that are trying to continue to push the sport. And hearing about your background, in anthropology makes so much sense now as to why you have tried to, build interest in tricking across so many other ways besides just showing insane tricks, if that makes sense.
You got it. Thank you for that. Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you. Of course, I want to be the best tricker in the world.
Who doesn't?
Of course, I want to have all the cool moves. Of course, I want a triple cork, swing, triple cork. Of course, I want all that. I'm still trying.
Yes.
I'm 33 years old, and I'm still trying.
There's still time, yeah.
It is still time.
There's still time, y'all.
But, I feel like there's a point that you have to realize, anybody has to realize, what is your strength and what is your weakness. Even though we want to ignore our weaknesses, because nobody likes to acknowledge what is our weakness. Nobody likes that. But I feel like the power in acknowledging your weakness is that we're able to work on it.
Totally, bro.
Fix it.
Totally.
So even though I'm not the best tricker of the world, I'm working on it. I'm still in my own world. I'm trying to do the things that I need to. But I realize that my strength is bringing people together.
Yeah.
My strength, using my comedy, uplifting people. I feel like that's really my strength. And I'm using that, and I use that, and I throw it in the tricking community. And I feel like it's great. I know through anthropology, I learned that there's more power in the community than any individual. I love telling this to my friends. I love Michael Guthrie, I love Shosei and Tiki and all of them. But any of them individually, they're nothing compared to the community as a whole.
100%.
Period.
100%.
Period.
Yeah.
So I love to see how much we could do as like collectively, almost like ants, ants. It's like we could do anything together. We have different ideas. We grow faster. We compete against each other. So I really stand behind how much power the community has more than individual. Mm-hmm. And thanks to that, I'm able to I have all these friends, all these sessions. I have events. I'm so happy and so thankful for that experience, man.
Yeah, that really resonates with me, man, because it is so true. I mean, as we've seen just in our short decades in tricking, there's already been superstars that have come and left the sport, either because of age or because of, family, like we talked about off camera, like seeing Ott kind of hang up his tricking robe and be at peace with it is kind of surreal. But the sport continues to live on, even when superstars like him or, even guys like Anis don't trick as much anymore. Exactly. Tricking still exists,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I love standing for the community. And I feel like I'm getting, I'm receiving the fruits of my labor.
Yeah.
Now, because it took a while. The community in Colorado wasn't like that before. Even when Nick was holding it down, or even before the whole elevation tricking, before the tricking tribe, it was just like you mentioned, I don't know, 4 guys.
Yeah, 100%.
3 guys by themselves, and it was like that for a long time.
Yeah.
And the Colorado community didn't just come out of nowhere, overnight.
And that's what I want to talk about, because right now I feel like, to be fair, a lot of people kind of equate Colorado as being one of the meccas of tricking in the United States at the current time right now.
Absolutely, without a doubt. And yeah, it took a while to grow that flower, you could say, to grow that community, because it wasn't like that at all. But now in Colorado, you can find trickers any gym.
Yeah.
Any gym you go to randomly, any city, you're gonna find a tricker. And people, at least in Colorado Springs, in Denver too, they know more about tricking. They heard about it. Oh yeah, trickers, yeah, over there, this and that, which is really nice to see how the Colorado is changing, period, through our efforts and our little community. Because if you think about it, us trickers, we're just 0.5% of the world. We're such a small percentage.
Probably less, zero, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Probably even way less.
It's what is this? It's crazy.
Yeah.
So in that little percentage, it's nice to see how we can affect the world. It takes time, but to see how things change it's really nice.
Yeah, man. And for those that kind of have no idea about the origins of the Colorado tricking community, we've actually had on the JAMCast previously, we've had Nick Vale, we've had Ed Bossert, we've also had Dan Perez de Tejada. So if you guys are curious about the origins of the tricking history all the way back to elevation tricking, to the tribe and stuff like that, go listen to some of those podcasts. Absolutely. It'll give you kind of a breakdown of it from 20 years ago. But that being said, right now, with how popular tricking is in Colorado, I feel like we should kind of outline the two scenes within the state because I feel like foreigners may not know about that. Right now in Colorado, there's essentially two scenes that still get together and train, but I don't think people realize how far Denver is from Colorado Springs.
Right.
So Denver and Colorado Springs are probably what, like hour and a half,
miles,
like
about 60, an hour and a half drive.
hour and a half drive distance from each other.
Right, right.
Right now, who is in Denver in the scene, and then who's in the Colorado Springs scene?
Sure. Okay. So in the Denver scene, I feel like the one who's running most of Denver currently is Alex Kerwood.
I was gonna say Kerwood. Is that where Kerwood and Charlie and Jordan?
Yes.
Okay.
Because Kerwood is a part of Torque.
Yes.
And Jordan and a bunch of those guys, Ethan, I believe too. They're part of Torque.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing about it, that you forgot to mention one other spot, which is Boulder.
Boulder, yes, correct.
So you can say three solid
Technically
ones.
three
I would say
spots.
3 solid ones.
Wow.
Because in Boulder, you have Cats.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about like almost like 2 hours away just driving. But Boulder's really nice. But in Cats, it's been popping off.
That's where you see all the Ethan Turner clips going crazy.
And also Levi Borrego.
Yes, yes.
And like, yeah, so currently, like, one of the most hot spots is definitely the one in Cats in Boulder.
And who
Not so much Denver.
does anyone
Denver's
live there, or do they live in Boulder, or do they drive there?
There's a few guys that live there. Yeah, like Levi lives there.
Okay.
Aiden Scoot lives there.
Oh, okay.
Several of those guys live over there.
Because I think Kerwood and them were like what, Highlands Park or stuff like
Right.
that back in the days. Yeah.
And I think they're still around that area.
Okay.
But you know, they drive, they carpool. Like, it's a nice community. So yeah, so we have that over there. And then in the Springs, we have like Andrew Core.
Yes.
We have Kyle Morehart. We have a bunch of our local guys over there, like my homie Black Go, one of my students, Garrett. Shout out to Garrett. I'm proud of you, bro. We have Edwin. And we have a lot of new guys just moving in, which is nice. But yeah, man, but constantly we're always like going back and forth. We're everybody's carpooling.
Yeah.
Ashley's, Adam's all the time down there. I mean, everybody's always down there in the Flip Shack. So we're always like carpooling, going back and forth.
Okay.
Or we go to Denver to the trampoline park at Defy.
Okay.
But I would say those are the 3 solid ones: Boulder, Denver, Colorado Springs.
And what do you think causes people to move into certain areas? Like, for example, what do you think caused Andrew Court to move to the Springs instead of going with everyone else down there?
It makes me really happy. But like, I also forgot to mention, to answer your question, I forgot about Eric, and I forgot about what was the other one? The boys that just moved from.
Oh, they're gonna be pissed
Minnesota.
at you, bro.
They're gonna be pissed off at me.
He's looking for help out here. He's looking for answers. He's gonna send me a voice note. I'm gonna put it in post. And shout out to blah blah blah.
Right. But anyways,
No,
what I'm
it's all
trying to say is like, it makes me really happy that a bunch of my friends over there, they say that they moved down. One of the reasons is because of me and the community. They say, mostly because of Flip Shack. They want to be there in the training community.
Yeah.
Like Kyle moved over there because for the community, literally. And I even told him that. And Andrew, I was like, man, it's so cool that you guys could have gone to Denver.
That's what I was curious about.
You know what I mean? But they were like, no, we want to be over there in the Springs with you and the community, and that really fills me up. What we're building, because Colorado, you know, we're one state, but it's nice how we have our own little communities.
Yeah.
Together, but yeah.
100%, man. No, that's super, super cool. And I think one of the things that's allowed you to continue to have these gatherings and a community itself is a relationship that you have with Flip Shack Gymnastics.
Absolutely.
How were you able to establish something like that? Because I feel like it's one of the questions a lot of kids in the community have, which is like, how can they find a home when they don't have a home? You know what I'm saying? And how were you guys able to go about that?
No doubt. Quick shout out to Wayne, Larson, and Gretchen. Thank you guys for everything you guys do for me. Wayne is the owner.
Yeah.
You met him.
Yeah.
He's the owner of Flip Shack. He's amazing. He's a great friend of mine. He believes in me with my idea, so I'm really thankful for that. A lot of people think that I own Flip Shack. I'm like, I wish, bro.
Right?
I don't own this. I wish.
Yeah.
But what I do is like I run the sessions. I run the tricking events. I run the whole tricking aspect with Flip Shack. And everything started about like over 10 years ago when there was no gyms that had open sessions for anybody who's over 16.
Okay. Yeah.
And one of the few gyms that allowed us to train was Flip Shack.
Makes sense.
It was like a Monday around noon, something like that. And we were like, okay, this is it. Because he was like one of the few gyms that gave us, access. And from then on, we were training there for a while. And then I just like, I reached out to Wayne. I tried to get a job at the place, and then we built a relationship. That's basically how it started.
Okay.
And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna host the sessions. I'm gonna market for you guys and do all these things. And then from then on, everything just evolved from there. But it was basically just a relationship that I have with him. I'm just talking to him. I just went out of my way and reached out to him. So I feel like anybody who wants to do that, sometimes they think that's impossible.
Yes.
But just go for it. Just talk. And I was talking to Pam about that. How just talking. A lot of times we think some things are set.
Yeah.
Like with the doctor or the law or all kinds of stuff, you know. But just through talking and understanding, we can change things for what's more convenient. So just like that, that's what I did. And I'm really happy how everything worked out. And we have still a good relationship, so it's nice.
Okay. And when did you formulate Pikes Peak Tricking as its own like formal entity with its own Instagram account? Stuff
I'm
like
glad
that
that you're asking this question because this will solve a lot of issues and questions about a lot of things.
Let's do it.
It was 2014.
Okay.
2014. And I started Pikes Peak Tricking before the tricking tribe. I want to make that clear.
Yes.
For everybody.
Yes.
Because sometimes I have no problem with people thinking that it was after or something. But the whole design of the Pikes Peak Tricking and everything was before the tricking tribe.
Yeah.
And I thank Nick Vale for him being the one like carrying me under his wing with the community. If it wasn't, like I told you before, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have access to the tricking community.
Totally.
But yeah, 2014, I established it, started the Instagram account, and we actually had a gathering before Trick Difference. We had one gathering. That only few people.
What was it called?
It was the overnight gathering.
Oh.
It was the very first overnight gathering.
Okay.
So we could stay the whole night. And it was actually in this very little gym close to UCCS. Bailey Payne came.
Oh, okay.
Kyle Cordoba came. Mackenzie,
I know about this
Mackenzie
event.
Emery came.
Yeah, I know about this
Jordan
event.
Okubo came.
Totally.
Nick Vale, Ashley Adams, all big hitters over there, low key. And that's actually was around the time of April. And it was a year before the first Trick Difference.
Wow. Okay.
And that's where everything started. And then from then on, we started that little gym, and then we took it to Flip Shack, and I was like, just keep doing this, just keep doing events. And yeah, that's how I started.
And what caused you to start making these tricking memes that eventually became synonymous with the account?
Right. Bro, I really never thought that shit was going to blow up like that. I was just like, just fucking around, you know what I mean? You know, since I was a kid, I've been a comedian. I like to joke around a lot. I just love just joking all the time. So, I don't know. I just started just making memes just randomly, man. Just out of nowhere, just for fun. But it was, if you look at the memes, how they changed, you see how they evolve. Because before I was trying to just do about like, you know, being like almost like a martial arts dojo, focusing about discipline, focusing about training, things that we need to do. But then slowly, like that wasn't getting much attention. People don't care about that. I slowly started like transitioning to just more funny, edgy, topics, and that's what people really like. And then the more I started like getting more edgy, like I was getting more reaction. I just kept pushing with that, and just kept doing it. But honestly, I was just having fun with it because I was just like, when I make it, if I'm laughing, I'm like, this is gold.
It's gonna work. Yeah.
If I'm laughing making it, I'm like, push.
Do people ever send them to you, or are they all yours?
Absolutely.
Okay.
They're mostly mine, the ones I make. I haven't done memes in actually a good while.
It's been a while,
because I've just been focusing on training. I'm like, but maybe I'll do some soon. But people be sending some fans. They be like, look at this meme. Because some people that they don't want to be put on the spot. They're like, I made this, and they don't want to be like. They don't want to be like, oh, you're fucked up. You're messed up for doing it.
It wasn't good.
Really like that.
Totally.
And I think that's one of the things that is one of the things that helped me, man. For the longest time, for many years, nobody knew who was running Pikes Peak Tricking.
Yeah.
And that gave me a comfort for me to be like, I can post whatever I want.
Yep, 100%.
Nobody knows who it is.
Yeah. Totally. They don't know who behind the mask.
I can attack you, and you don't know who I am.
Yeah.
And people are gonna love it.
Totally, dog. Totally.
So in a way, I feel comfortable for me to be like, no, people not know who I am. I almost feel free to just release whatever I want comfortably. So that kind of helped me. But yeah, with that being said, some people they send me that, and they like Tyler or a few of the guys, they send me memes, and it's hilarious. And then I post it. I let them know. I'm like, do you want me to like put anonymous, or you want me to put that was you?
Yeah.
But that's kind of like a little history of the whole memes.
Okay. And now at this point in your career, having thrown 5 Trick Different gatherings and having been to a bunch of other events yourself, what do you think is the secret to having a successful gathering?
Like. The way I see a gathering is just like a party. It's just a party. And it's a party, but it's almost like I'm the parent.
Yeah, for real.
For this kids,
Yeah.
The way I grew up, I'm from Venezuela. My family's first generation migrating from Venezuela to the U.S. We migrated when I was 9, and we went to Puerto Rico, then Colorado, and we love to party.
Yes.
A lot of Hispanic people love to party, and we're very social people. So I feel like growing up in that environment, it almost like taught me how to really have a good time in the right way, the fun way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Joking with people, taking care of people. So to answer your question, I feel like the secret for a gathering is just how to just take care of people and fun. Everybody's having fun. Yeah. Everybody's eating good food. We have good music. We're laughing. We're joking. We're comfortable. And I feel like those are the little small things for people to have a great event.
Yeah.
More than other things. It's almost like I was telling Pam, sometimes it's not about where you are. It's just who you're with.
100%. 100%.
You're in a shithole, man, but if you're with your homie, you're laughing with him.
Yeah.
You're laughing, having a great time. But you could be in a great place and you feel uncomfortable, man.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Let me go back home, right?
Yeah.
So I think about little things like that, how in a gathering we can do all these fancy things, but I focus on the core, almost on the foundation, and I put all my energy on that. And it's working out.
And for a kid that like wants to throw his first gathering and is probably intimidated by doing so, like, do you have any starter advice on what he should do to get things off the ground on his initial one?
Absolutely. Even though anybody has any doubts on, it seems really complicated. Some people, they just focus on saying it's really hard to do a gathering. It's really easy, honestly. If you do the right steps, it's almost like a trick.
Yeah.
It's almost like doing like a backflip. You can try the backflip with the wrong steps and it feels almost impossible. You can almost die. But if you do the right steps, it's actually not that bad.
Yeah, totally.
Just like that.
Yeah.
So anybody who wants to do a gathering, just do the right steps. It's pretty simple. Just connect to the gym owner, rent the space, get the food, message me on social media if you need some help. But it's pretty simple though. Just following the right steps. And just do it. And trickers want to go to a different state or a different country to get together with some trickers and talk. People want to do that. So even though it might seem like impossible or far-fetched, it's pretty doable. I mean, that's how I feel. I feel like I didn't know any of this was going to happen with the trick different blowing up so much. And just stick with it, and it's going to pay off. So I encourage anybody to just go for it and just message me, and it's going to work.
Hell yeah. No, I think so too. And from someone that has thrown gatherings himself, it's like you said, at the root of it, it's not that difficult to do. It really can become as big a headache as you want it to be.
Right.
So if you want it to be a big event, it's going to be a big headache. If you want it to be a small event, it's going to be a smaller headache, Right. So you just kind of got to pick and choose your battles.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%, man. And so at this point in your life, like, what I think is kind of unique is that, like, we've actually been seeing you post a lot more training footage and stuff that I feel like lately than in previous years. And I've kind of been on like a similar tip too. Anyone that listens to the JAMCast over the last 6 months is probably very sick of me talking about how I've been like re-inspired in training and stuff, But what's your current goals and training schedule like,
I train almost every day. I've been doing it for almost 2 years now. Really training almost every day.
Yeah.
At a high level. And I love that. I'm really proud of that. Because I'm 33. I turned 34 in a few days, actually.
Crazy.
But it's crazy for me how I'm able to do things I've never done in my 20s or before.
Yeah,
I feel stronger than ever. And I'm thinking that just to following the right instructions, almost like I teach and I tell my students, like, technique is like a recipe for cooking something. If you follow the recipe, it's going to work out.
Yeah.
You get what you want. If you don't follow it, it's going to be almost impossible to do. So I've been changing my training to be like, make sure I eat well, make sure I rest well, make sure I recover properly, make sure if I'm training every day, I'm doing different regimens every day. One day kicks, another day legs or stretching. I'm always switching it up. Maybe one day it's just trampoline. So I'm really inspired to like hit the tricks I've been wanting to hit all my life.
Yeah.
At least not all my life, maybe like over 10 years that I haven't done. It's like I've been in the trick community for like over 10 years, man. And I still haven't double cork on the floor. I haven't double B-twist at the core on the floor, snapu, all these goals that I have that I see kids come in and out. But, like I came to a point that I realized that everybody has a different journey.
Yeah, totally.
And I came to realize that I'm a late bloomer. And I was talking to Pam about that. Even though I don't want to admit that, but I am a late bloomer. And just realizing that I'll bloom later. So, like, I feel like I'm on that path right now. I'm going to hit that peak pretty soon. So you will be seeing me doing some big moves tricking wise pretty soon. Before the year ends, I know it.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna keep tricking. I want to get on my swing chains, on my high caliber tricks. But more than that, though, I really want to just hit those basic tricks, nothing crazy, no quads or nothing like that. But who knows, right? You should never say never, right?
Yeah,
you never
know. 100%.
But I want to focus on teaching. Make sure I build an army of solid students, because I have a lot of students in the Springs that I help and teach. But I want to keep growing on that because I love to teach. I feel like that's really my calling more than me doing the moves. So yeah, man, I'm pushing, I'm training. I know that Bruce Lee was in his prime. He's like 33 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, prime time, let's go, baby. And I'm happy to hear that you're like, let's go. Because I know you're older than me.
Bro, I'm pushing right now.
And I see you, boy. I see you
pushing,
like,
dog.
Hardcore, like, I'm not even doing things on concrete. I'm just feeling the grass. So respect to you, man. That's really like inspiring me.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Because if you think about it, like 1% in the world of trickers, period.
Yeah.
Well, think about the percentage of us, people that are in their 30s.
It's crazy.
That's
bro.
what, like you're like 3 people, like
yeah, exactly.
5 people,
bro.
like,
it's tiny.
So it's really in a way we're inspiring, younger generations to be like, no, I can still push.
Yeah.
Somebody that really helped me to be where I am right now is Mateo.
Yeah, I was gonna literally mention him. Like,
bro,
you can't.
If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be doing that right now because he's showing me the way. I'm like, I could do it. I'm like, okay, you're older than me. Okay, you could do it. I could do it. So it'd be really cool that somehow I'm doing that for somebody else or you doing that for somebody else. And we don't even know, because we're just focusing on our own path.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's kind of surreal, man. I was in a similar boat as you where for a long time I was just more concerned with helping bring up the community and helping like bring up others so much that I didn't even really care about my own individual path for so long. And it really hit me now as I get older. I think the one thing that we just didn't have back then was just like, we didn't film everything all the time, And right. So for me now, I'm just trying to get just enough stuff on tape to show like my family when I'm older, show my kids, and stuff like that. So
nice, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just kind of on that tip right now where I'm jealous of the new generation, kids like Bailey that literally have hours of footage for the rest of their life archived on YouTube, So,
right. Yeah. It is really nice to be able to recall these things that we do.
Yeah.
Later on, be like, look at your grandfather, look at your dad, look what he was doing, So that is really cool. And with what you said, like it is important to have that balance, right?
Yeah.
Of like community, but also the individual. Because if we're all about the community, then we're not you're gonna get to the point that you're like, fuck this, man.
Yeah.
It's like we need to have like yourself and the community. That's why it's important for me to do both. I'm training my ass off, but I'm still like focused in the community. So I do both.
I feel you on that. I mean, dude, there was a point. I don't know if you are very cognizant of it, but I feel like a lot of the community is. But there was like a period of like 5 years where I kind of like walked away from the community. And it wasn't like it was because I was like, fuck you tricking. But I just hit a point where I felt like I was giving more to the sport than I was receiving back. And it's not about that in a sense of like, hey, I'm doing this in order to enhance my life.
Right.
But I felt like I was just pushing myself to the limits. Like I was back then during Trickstar, I was on a movie Monday through Friday. I literally was flying home on Saturday, Sunday to run Trickstar, flying back to be on a movie Monday morning, self-funding it out of my own pocket, like, 20, 30 grand. And I just got to a point where I was like, I'm doing all these things and it's a thing I love. And yes, I see the benefits that it's helping other people, but I had to just take a step back for myself to just kind of focus on my own life and kind of fell back in love with it.
Yeah, because that gas is going to run out.
Yeah, bro. I mean, we didn't have jam gatherings for 5 years. Right. I think the last one was like 2014, 2015. And then we had the big one last year in 2019.
It was amazing.
And I feel like it was almost better that we took that break. Because I feel like we almost got to a point in LA where we kind of took for granted the scene that we had. Where we kind of were like, everyone's going to come anyways. Like, we're LA. Like, this is just like a normal weekday session for us with all the out-of-town people. But I feel like when we took that break, that's when it allowed some of the OGs to really figure out if they missed this sport. For example, like, Danny Graham made a huge point to come to the gathering, the one that we had in 2019. And him having 2 kids now, I honestly didn't expect that he was going to come by at all. Let alone for more than maybe 5 minutes, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I saw him out there running and like tackling Zen Kajihara and like being the first one filming him. And I'm like, oh, he loves this shit still.
It got me really happy seeing him there and seeing him with his kids and his wife.
And seeing him with Mike was really cool too.
When they did those jackknives together.
That was like full circle, closing the drama,
Right.
Yeah.
It was really, really powerful experience with that.
It was.
And seeing him there, like, because he loves tricking,
He
we all
loves
go
it,
through
bro.
all kinds of stuff.
He loves it.
Grow and change, but like, he course you miss all that. You know, just being there in the environment, seeing the new generation. That's like
doing his moves at a higher level. Like when when he did Graham Cracker, Jose did, I was like, Zen did. I was like, wow.
Yes.
It's cool for Danny to see.
Oh man, it made me really happy. The event you hosted, you did such an amazing job, man.
Thanks,
huge
bro.
shout out to you, man. Like, and huge shout out to you for doing everything you've done for tricking in the past few years. I've been watching you. I was telling her how I met you and on the way here.
Yeah, it's crazy.
How much you've done for the community. I mean, you were on MTV. You know,
I've been very lucky, bro. But yeah, right place, right time.
You have had a lot of you've been definitely on the right place and the right time. Yeah. But yeah, man, like, you've done a lot, and it's really impressive that you're going out of your way. People don't see that. Nobody sees that you're busting your ass and you're doing that on the side, out of your own pocket and all these things.
Yeah, yeah.
So people don't understand that. Some people might just see you like, oh man, you're just being douchey.
Yeah, 100%. Or they think you're just about the money because you own a gym.
But they're missing all these things that you're doing behind doors. That's for real.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, like what you say kind of reminds me of Nick. I feel like Nick did a lot too.
I agree. I 1000% agree,
bro. He went far and beyond for everybody.
Yeah.
And I feel like he felt like he was not receiving back as much as he's putting out.
I agree.
And I feel like that kind of like his gas just ran out like that. And I understand. Yeah, man, it's a balance. I mean, trickers could be very, very immature. The way I see trickers is like this. I'm sure you agree with me in many ways. It's like we're outcasts.
Yeah.
We're very deviant people.
Totally.
Very strange, very weird people, like the black sheep of the family.
Yeah, yeah.
Edgy people, like very, very different people. A lot of them, like, they don't have responsibilities, they don't have money, they're broke, they're wild. Many times I joke around with my friends, I'm like, if you see some very sketchy person on the street, I'm like, look, he could be a tricker. He has the prereqs for it. So it can be very hard to like deal with people like that too.
Yeah, yeah.
Because a lot of things can go off. So I remember Nick mentioning how challenging, how rough it is to deal with trickers or host an event and beat people together. Because not everybody follows the rules.
Totally, man.
So it gets crazy. So I understand that aspect, how that can be crazy. I like to put my energy on the good things about the tricker. I feel like I'm not saying it doesn't exist, the bad things about the trickers, but I like to focus on the good things about the trickers.
Yeah, totally.
How we're creative, how we do other mediums besides just tricking, musicians, painters, writers, all kinds of creative outlets out there, fashion designers. So I like to think about all these things that I just focus on the good. Even though there's a bunch of bad, I try to just maximize the good. And the way we just like not really focus on those things. If we try to handle the negative things, but that's what I'm doing. And I feel like it's working for me. But with you saying about leaving the community and coming back, I haven't left the community actually.
I was gonna ask you, and that's the reason why I brought it up, was I wanted to just kind of get a feel for where you're at right now.
Yeah. I was thinking of that. I haven't left.
And I don't want people, and I kind of also bring it up because I don't want people to take for granted like what you're doing and the efforts out there. Right. Hopefully people will hear what I just said and they kind of realize like, oh, we need to really be thankful for the people that are kind of helping continue to drive our local communities and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The time that I left, I could say was this, because I started when we first met. I told you I started like back in 2005, really early, like during Byline years, before YouTube, and it was before I met Nick. And then I remember I left to college and CU Boulder, and that's when I met Nick around the Denver area. I met Nick over there. I met Dan Perez. I met John Neese.
Yes.
During that time, and then where are we going with that?
We're just talking about if you ever left the community.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then from there, I remember like I moved back to Colorado Springs.
Okay.
For college, and when I moved back, I actually took like 2-3 years off.
Oh, okay.
And I put my energy in just partying, drinking,
of course.
college years.
Same as me in college, bro.
You know,
I took 3 years off in college. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. But during that time, I remember there was a breakdancing crew in college. And then that's when I decided to I always wanted to learn how to break. And that's when I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to learn this. Even though I never figured it out, there's a crew here available. I can learn from them. So I'm going to just stick and learn. And that's what I did. Some people think that my background is dancing. My background is not dancing.
Okay.
My background is martial arts since I was 5. And I decided to be a dancer later in my life.
Okay.
To learn how to be more relaxed and loose because martial artists are so rigid and tense.
Totally.
So like I literally just focused on just like learning how to break. I just stuck with it, just obsessed with that. And then after a couple of years doing that, my friends were inviting me like, yo, we're still tricking, come over. And then I was like, okay, let's do this again. And then I was like, all right, let me stick with both. And then from there I stuck with it and I never left.
No way.
And then I was like focusing on, the fusion of the breaking and the tricking. For a while, I was just focusing on that. And then after a while, I was like, man, my friends over here that started tricking later than me, they're learning all these things that I've never done.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me switch some things up. And recently I've just been focusing, just like get my tricking on point. And thanks to Steve, huge shout out to Steve Serrata.
Yes.
My teacher, he's like hooking me up with all the cheat codes, how to do things right. But that's kind of like what happened, yeah.
Okay.
So that's the only break that I took way
Yeah.
back. But then ever since I just stay. And then in a way, I didn't take a break after that because I was like, I'm getting older. So if I leave, I'm never going to
take forever.
There. That's what I told myself. I was
Totally.
like, it's either stay now or it's never going to happen.
Yeah. I feel you, bro. I feel you on that.
So yeah.
Is there anyone that you watch specifically?
I watch pretty much everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, I love watching Tiki. He's killing it.
Mm-hmm.
Jose, San, Michael Guthrie. I love Mike's technique. He's studying him. All my friends, really. It's really cool to say that like a bunch of these guys are just my friends, just watching them.
That's the coolest part.
My students. But yeah. But lately, I just been, for the longest time, I was just watching everybody for like a lot. But like lately, I just be like, just focusing more on myself, honestly.
Yeah.
Just watching my own stuff. I'm like, what can I fix? What do I have to do?
Totally.
Instead of like just fanboying somebody so hard, I'm like, let me fanboy myself.
Yeah.
Let me fix my shit,
Yeah.
And I'm really enjoying that.
Hell yeah, man. No, that's super cool. And now just along the lines of being at our age group right now, I think one of the things that's also a little bit different for us and some of the other trickers in the community is that we have real life responsibilities that we have to attend to, whether that's family life or work life and career life. Exactly. And so how are you able to find that balance between it all?
I don't want to say I have it figured out. She's watching it. I don't have it figured out.
I'm dead.
But I'm getting closer.
I'm dead. Oh, amazing answer,
I'm not gonna
bro.
fucking lie, like,
no, amazing answer.
Like, no, I don't. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know. I'm like trying to figure it out. To really like try to push my dream and my career. Like, I live for this, and at the same time, like have a family and have money, a home. Like, I'm in the midst of that. That's why I was talking to Pam how I'm so proud of you.
Thanks,
you are my role model of how to be a tricker successfully.
Try.
But at least, with a home and you have financially, you can take care of things. You know what I mean? That's great, man. Because most trickers, like, they're broke, man. They're struggling. It's like that is the lifestyle.
Yeah, they try an open gym and the food they eat after.
It's like a beach bum. You know what I mean? Like, horrible. And like,
we've all been there. I was at that stage when I was younger.
Of course, we have to go through it.
Of course,
we have to go through it.
Yeah.
But I appreciate seeing how you are one of the few trickers that I know that successfully is like, you're okay.
Yeah.
Compared to some other guys.
Totally.
Yeah.
I am very thankful to be okay.
So yeah, man, I'm still working on that, and like man, just making the moves. It's very challenging, but I feel like if you want something, we'll figure it out, right?
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. It's tough, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I feel like we're in the process of just figuring shit out and moving forward.
Okay. No, that makes a lot of sense, man. And now I'm curious to hear your answer on this one. And I wonder where you take it, whether it be individual or community based. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now, and then where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
For sure. All right.
He said, all right. And then he took a deep ass breath, y'all. He took a deep ass breath.
No, this is a great one. 5 years from now, definitely Pikes Peak's own gym.
Okay.
No flip shack, my own private gym.
I'm so glad to hear
Fact.
that. Hell yeah. All right.
Established, set. And definitely keep running the gatherings. And usually I just expand on that. Grow in our community, more lessons, more apparel. Usually I keep pushing on that. And I have a team, a solid team. Because many times with the tricking, Pikes Peak Tricking, I feel mostly like I'm doing things single-handedly.
100%, bro.
People think that I have a whole squad, but honestly, it's just me.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of that, but I know that it's better if we work together with a team and do everything organized and the right way.
Yeah.
So definitely have my own gym. Keep pushing with the community over there. growing. And for me, I'm going to be stubbing my double corks, bro. I'm still going to be doing all that.
Hell yeah.
You know, I'm going to be pushing. I feel like as long as we're being healthy and taking care of our bodies, I mean, look at Jackie Chan, you know, Jet Li.
He's fucked up now, though, just so you know.
Oh, damn.
Just so you know, he can barely walk now.
You know?
He's fucked. Yeah, he's fucked.
Man.
Yeah, it's real sad to see.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, I got my 30s to enjoy.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, but to be fair, I also just interviewed someone, and her dad is 80 years old. He can still do round off back handspring and aerial. So there you go.
And I've also seen a lot of like older like grandpas or grandmas on the trampoline.
Yeah,
and they're doing like
totally.
high caliber, like double bags, like high shit. So that's always a possibility though, because trampoline is really nice. I love being training on the trampoline.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm still gonna be training. Probably gonna have my son. I have my son. I have 3 kids. I have little baby boy Emiliano. I have my son Calais. You met them.
Yeah.
My daughter Lanikai. So I would love for them to be a part of it. But if they're not, I mean, they'll be there. If they're tricking or not, they're gonna be there doing something. So I just want to make sure that my family is involved.
Okay.
With all that. 10 years from now, just developing, just being established. Probably my kid. Hopefully my son will be killing it. Probably Emiliano will be just fucking smashing some crazy shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I told myself I want to have at least 10 trick difference.
Okay.
The reason why I chose that is because the first big gathering that I went to outside of Colorado was Loop Kicks. The 10-year anniversary. Yeah. And that killed me because I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And I was like, 10 solid years. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, it's a good one. I need to have at least 10 years of trick difference because I'm like a decade of trick gatherings. I'm like, I could die happy, you know? So, but I want to do at least 10, but the way everything's going and I see it, I'm going to just keep pushing. Okay. And yeah, this is my career. This is my life. I dedicated all this because many times people, they don't see this as a real job. Yeah, of course. People tell me that all the time. Her mom, everybody tells me that. It's not get a real job. Just jumping around, wasting your time, you know? But I see the value in what we do. Yeah. And yeah, this is my career. It's my life. So like, I'm just like, get to do everything organized, and that's what's gonna happen, Travis.
Hell yeah. I'm excited to see, man. Like I said, it's already been cool to see 5 trick difference happen, and looking forward to see 5 more. And who knows, maybe that last one will be at the start of the new gym or something like that. Right. That would be crazy. If trick different 10 was in the new gym, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. We should have some discussions off camera about some of this stuff too. So absolutely. Yeah. Maybe Jam Colorado eventually, some stuff like that.
Magic, man.
Exactly. Yeah.
Korea or something, Japan. Exactly. Tundra, Jam, Pikes Peak.
Exactly. Wow, that's cool, man. But yeah, just like I said, it's really dope that not only were we able to make this happen on your trip down here, but also just that we're able to just continue to see you push the community. And like I said, hopefully I'll be able to make it to the next Trick Different and to the 4 after that, hopefully, that you continue to have. Please. Hell yeah.
Amazing, man. Thank you again for having me here. I watch your interviews. I watch a lot of them, bro.
Appreciate it.
It's really, really cool for me to be a part of this. It's like a dream. So thank you, man.
Nah, I appreciate it, dog. And before we get out of here, can you just look into this camera and let people know where they can follow you and Pikes Peak and stay up to date with everything you got going on?
Sure. So my personal account is, nobody can pronounce it. It's Uribari. That's style. People usually say Uribari.
Yes.
You're Uribari. Uribari, that's style. That's my personal account. I mostly just post. Recently, I just posted my training footage of me with my baby Pam that I love so much. And then I have the Pikes Peak Tricking account. It's just Pikes Peak Tricking. And then I'll be posting more. I'll probably do some more memes, but I'm going to be more active with that, with everything that's coming. But yeah.
Hell yeah. Yo, guys, please be sure to go visit both accounts. And with that being said, please be sure to hit that like button, comment, subscribe for brand new episodes each and every week. Join us every Monday for Jam Breakdowns and every Friday for brand new JAMCast, interviewing influential members of the movie community like Mr. Luis Gonzales himself. So with that being said, guys, I got to give one more very special shout out. Thanks for coming through, homie. I really appreciate it. Hell yes. And as always, guys, coming through, I'm your host, Travis Wong. Thanks for joining us here on another JAMCast. Until next time, we'll see you all soon. Peace.